Shalom, good to see you again. And I like the tagline, this Sabbath is for you. What is the Sabbath? Sabbath is God's design to make you full, rich, and the best person of your version you can be. Because we roll right along, we are busy, our culture's busy, and in the middle of all of that, we can dial down, we can flatline, we can come to deliver less in each situation, even though it may look like more. So God designed this plan to pull the plug once a week. And I'm going to expand that. Pull the plug where all of that dials down and the real you in the presence of God dials up. Identity dials up. Energy dials up. Focus and purpose dials up. All of that happens in the concept of Sabbath, in the day of the Sabbath. But I want to expand a little bit further. Jesus called Peter, James, and John aside because he wanted them to have a miniature Sabbath experience, okay? And I look for the Sabbath all the time. I built 5 or 6 prayer gardens like this on our property that are meant to be places of habitation that are quiet, where I've had encounters with God. Find places in your daily life and in your schedule where you pull aside. Some people pray in their car, wherever it is, where you really pull aside and you shut down and you really spend time with God. So what happens? Jesus realizes who he wants to manifest himself to be and who God wants to be in your life. Doesn't always happen in the valley. Yeah, the miracles that's all really good. But the transformation in who he is and who you are is what he's after. So he pulls them away from the crowd, away from the positive tasks of their life, up to a mountain spot. And in that place, it says his face became radiant like the sun. God wants to go through those transformations. He wants, because as you see him in a deep, passionate way, where his face is translated into the shine of the glory of the goodness of God, it impacts you. You are what you gaze upon. You are what you meditate on. And as you do that, it changes you. And it says his garments, his daily clothes that he wore, became shimmering white. We need to be in a relationship with God that has shimmer and has wonder and has awe. And we see that in our work, what he does. But the high places where he expands and pushes out the wall of our spirit and we grow to give us the capacity to have that in daily life, that happens in the Sabbath. That happens in these times of pulled aside. So find it wherever you want. But one of the biggest things that happened there is that Moses and Elijah appeared to Jesus while these guys are watching, and they talked to him about his future. Now, I get it. That's a little off our charts, and how does that all figure out in a lot of things? Not my issue right now. The issue right now is, do you need insight? Do you need counsel? Do you need a greater impact of God? Do you need wisdom that transcends the daily life that you're going in? Do you need to get up to the 30,000 feet and get filled and get impassioned, but get counsel and wisdom to be who you're called to be? It happens on the Sabbath. It happens when you pull aside. Counsel will come to you. Wisdom will come to you. Blueprints and game plans will come to you. But not only that, when they left the mountaintop, they went back down into the valley. And all the guys who didn't go to the Sabbath couldn't pull off a healing, and they were confused. And I think Jesus pulled off the healing, not just because of the power of his stature and who he was, but his batteries were charged. He had just come from counsel. His mission was assured. He knew where he was going. He was emotionally built up. He had fresh revelation, and he got his batteries charged. And so when he hit the stuff in the middle of the week, he had it. The Sabbath is one of God's most important principles. If you can do a whole day, it's great. If you do a weekend, a quarter. If you take it 2 hours in the night, wherever it is, get the Sabbath. And you'll get God. Blessings. This Sabbath is for you.